Ooh. Look at that. Look at that. We are back in the 2025 Kia Soul with 12,985 miles. This is the one that needs an engine. It's a 2025 and the dealer will not warranty it. But why? Because they let it idle non-stop. This thing's a year old. They let this thing idle non-stop for a year. Probably ran it out of oil several times, and now it's full of sludge. But it needs an engine. A lot of people said to me, oh, why don't you just flush it out? Flushing it's not going to fix anything. Flushing it's not going to do anything. I was curious to see if I could find anything with idle time or engine runtime. There's nothing in this vehicle that gives you that. I even have the scanner hooked up right now. And I was here, I looked through everything. Engine, transmission, analog brakes, airbag, the occupant detection system, oil change resets, the tire and wheel surfaces, front radar, everything I could think of to look at. The BCM, the AC, the cluster, the heads-up display. I looked at everything I could think to look at, and nothing gives me engine runtime. So, I was hoping to see something, but it's just not there. Just disconnecting the scanner. So, I want to take the valve cover off is what I want to do. So I want to look and see what's going on there. But like I said, a lot of people commented saying, why don't you just flush the engine and see what happens? Well, because there's a reason for that, because the damage is already done. The damage is to a point where it won't help anything. Now, had this thing had a sludge buildup and maybe was burning a little oil, but it wasn't knocking, wasn't setting any codes for timing chain errors and stuff like that, I would consider it. I would at least try it, but this thing's already gone. So there's no point in doing that. Let me start this up. Let me revisit the situation in case you missed it. I'll tag the other video here too, just so you could see it. It should show up there. But let's start this. Okay, so. Oh, the engine's making so much noise. But let's go underneath the hood. And there you see. Woohoo! There's a lot of smoke out the tailpipe. I try not to get the name of the company on camera here. But you hear how bad that thing sounds? I mean, it is just clattery, chattery. Also sounds like this thing's got a broken motor mount. Yeah, something's hitting, but you hear how chattery it is? Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can't pop that valve cover off. At least this way we can get a better look inside. All right, so we're gonna quickly just take off this valve cover. I have to get some more tools. I'm gonna film everything and then edit it accordingly. Now you gotta take the dipstick out. And I just had it running so you see it's all the way up the stick. You gotta take the dipstick out. You don't have to take the spark plugs out, but you do have to take the coils off. Some coils have the bolts captured so they don't fall out. This one is not that design. Hello. Come on out of there. Jeez. Ugh. Wow, these things are really stuck on those plugs. You hear them popping. Ugh. These type of connectors here, you push down on, you push them in, push down on the white clip, and it should come out. Or maybe not. Oh, this has got a double. Okay, it's got one on each side. And that's how you get it off. Okay. So far, relatively simple. I'm going to need a pair of pliers for that. There's no reason to pull the cam sensors out. Oops. I tell you, I've had this Milwaukee for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, and I can honestly say it's one of the best tools I've ever bought. Purchased, bought, and whatever you want to say. Let me go get a pair of pliers so I can get this hose off. Let me get something so I can unhook this wire and pull this connector off of here. So I don't want to break anything. So let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so now for this, where this wire loom goes in, here, let me see if I can give you a little better shot here. See how that goes into that little piece there? There's 2 tabs that need to be released inside there. Just like that. See that? So you're just pushing in on those little tabs. Okay, let's back you back up. Maybe. All right. Okay. So now, a moment of truth. I think I got all the bolts out. All right. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Look at the sludge. I'm trying to turn my light on. Oh my gosh. Look at the sludge. This thing's got 12,000 miles. Look at the sludge. That's from running it out of oil. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Look at the globs. I've seen Jell-O not as thick as this. Wow. Wow, that is just truly, truly amazing. That's a gasket. So's that. Wow. Have you ever seen one this bad? But yeah, in case you're wondering, yeah, flushing this is not going to fix it. Blown away. Blown away. This is, yeah, blown away. That's all I could say. But, you know, so many different comments on this. And people were saying, oh, you know, as soon as you said Kia, I knew what it was. Well, These things are not designed. None of the cars today are designed to just sit there and idle. These have low tension rings. They're notorious for using oil in the first place, but I mean, that doesn't matter. That shouldn't create this. But what happens is you run it really low on oil to the point of it starving itself for oil. That oil is what creates this sludge, that really low oil, because it gets all the contaminants that are inside the engine that are getting blown past the rings, get into the oil, and then you wind up with this mess. So, yeah, I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned, this is all on the customer. This has nothing to do with the manufacturer. This can happen to any vehicle. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. I actually saved your screenshot of your comment. Works at a Subaru dealer. They have a Subaru, same type of thing, security vehicle. They've put in 3 engines in 16,000 miles, I think he said. And they finally said to him, they did it under warranty. They finally said to him, look, this is it. We're not doing it. You have to change the oil every 1,000 miles. We have to see receipts, or we have to do it here every 1,000 miles, or we are never going to warranty this thing again. So, you know, could you say that it's a fault inside this particular engine? Possibly. Anything's a possibility. I don't think so. I'm pretty darn confident it's exactly what I think it is. Ran it low on oil, kept running it low on oil, did it multiple times, and never changed the oil. And then you wind up with this disaster. Yeah, so let's look once again. You got to remember something too. The engine breathes through the valve cover. That's what those hoses were for. You know, those are breathers through the valve cover. Imagine if you are really congested and you can't breathe through your nose. That's what this is. That's what this is. You know, the intake and exhaust cams have to read off of, or cam sensors have to read off of that slop too. Wow, just absolutely amazing. All right, well, now you know exactly why this thing needs an engine. Well, now you got to see it firsthand. So, all right. I hope you got something out of that. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching. I actually got to put this back together because while they approved the engine, they have to give us a deposit to do the engine, and they haven't come through yet. So I'm going to put it back together because you never know. The deal could fall through. It's possible. So anyway, that's it. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.